True. But set a good example.
Peter, I've given up everything in life, bar my vape.
Not everything.
Most things.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. And you get up the bit next as well.
Yeah.
It's
That's
the
next
after
on
holidays.
the agenda.
Yeah, after holidays.
I was going to say menu, but agenda sounds more.
What? More in tune.
More normal.
More normal? What's that?
I don't know.
I don't know what normal is. I
You
don't
do,
want
you know me.
Yes, darling. It's one of those moments where you just say yes, darling, isn't it?
Just nod and agree.
Yes, darling. It's just one of those you just have to like.
Yeah.
It's like what Sarah does to me. Like last night last night we were all around the table and that, and we were having that deep conversation. She's like, "You just do this."
Yeah.
To her friends, she was telling her friends, "You just do this, just nod and agree." Like she knows what to do now.
Yeah.
When it goes,
She learned from the best.
yeah. So when it goes too deep with me, when those conversations get really deep, she's like, "Yeah, Peter."
Yeah.
And that's my cue. I don't just stop. We're at
But
a
you
level
don't
here.
stop though. You keep going.
No, now in fairness, I do. When I feel like I've hit something,
yeah.
I stop.
Yeah.
I'm not that heavy duty.
No, with me though you don't.
No, I don't.
You just keep going.
Oh yeah, of course. Sure, the same for me. It helps unearth certain stuff,
true.
like, and more comfortable.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You've created a space that's comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it if I didn't think we could handle it. You know what I mean? But now, in fairness, some things I don't.
No. That is true.
Yeah, and I've said I have to have the boundary.
Yeah, because it affects you.
Your lipstick on your teeth.
Have I?
Just a little bit of red there.
Probably
No,
not.
it's not. It's a bit of nut. Ew.
I don't wear it going down, got lipstick on.
So, you want to introduce it?
Wait, what am I introducing?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the podcast we're about to record. No, hold on. The bus that's coming down the road from Sligo, like, here, they're introducing the S2 coming now to you. You know what I mean? What am I introducing?
The beast from the east is on the way.
She's already here. Along with the pest from the west. No, seriously though.
What's the topic, Peter? Me, the topic is Sophia.
Pretty much, yeah.
We
said, like on the last episode, we said you dive into a bit like of your inner healing and what.
Go a bit deeper.
Yeah, and like what you do to help yourself, what you've done to help yourself, where you've been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And where I was this time last year and how I thought I was doing the right thing, but it was the right thing for me at the time.
Yeah.
But now I'm like stepping back from it and looking back, I was thinking, how did I survive doing what I was doing? Like, it was insane.
It served you at the time.
Yeah.
So I suppose what's the topic? We know what the topic is. What we call the episode, Sophia's or just inner healing, isn't it?
Inner
just
healing, yeah. Because obviously the way we are, we're going to talk a bit about your inner healing too.
No, we're not. No, this one's on you, baby. No, we're not.
Babe, you love to talk about yourself, so it's going to happen.
Yeah, in another episode. No, I don't love to talk about myself. I love to talk.
Yeah.
I enjoy talking. I enjoy communicating.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Sometimes it's about me.
Yeah, but that's good because you're full of wisdom and stuff, and you don't.
The grey hair's coming out now, isn't it?
You don't talk SH1T a lot of the time.
A lot of the time. Cheers. I've learned how to minimise it.
Yeah, and manipulate it.
No influence. Don't use the word manipulate anymore. I actually had this conversation with one of the girls in the recovery coaching, and we're reframing language and changing language. And manipulate gets an awful bad rap. The word gets an awful bad rap. When in reality, it's used in a healthy space as well.
If used healthily.
Yeah. So we decided, we're going to change that word to influence.
Yeah.
But then I've actually got a kind of a bad energy attached to influence too, because of all that's going on in the space and the social media space, the influencing space. I actually just wrote an article from my LinkedIn.
It was a very powerful article today.
Thank you. Yeah,
very
I wrote
powerful.
that was my LinkedIn newsletter.
Yeah.
Imagine that, a newsletter.
Yeah, but it's so true, like it really is. Like people see these influencers and they say they're advertising something. You just automatically think it works straight away. Like say for example, right, I've seen an influencer before promoting like hair care that makes their hair long and healthy. They have hair extensions in.
I know, yeah. Or thickening shampoo on, like just before it.
Promoting teeth whitening stuff, and they have a mouthful of veneers. Do you know?
You know that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Mouthful of turkey teeth. She was out here on TikTok live the other night. Where you're on holidays? Where about on holidays are you? Like, we're in our living room. And then they're like, we're going to get some colour match. Because we were like, the lighting was really bad.
Yeah.
But it was really good.
Yeah, I don't care what people say.
No, man. Well, as I said on that podcast, people's business. People's opinions of me is none of my business.
And that is so true. And I'm starting to live my life that way. And it is like, it's such a way of being content in yourself, not judging yourself, loving yourself. Because like when you compare yourself to others, it's unachievable because you're not the same person in any aspect of the way. Like
there's a simple saying that goes back long time. Comparison is the thief of all joy.
Yeah.
And it's so true. I don't want to get to 70 and go, oh, I wish I did that. Or start thinking about these opportunities that came, but my self-doubt and self-esteem was low because I cared what everyone else thought around me.
Yeah.
I tell you, they're not going to bed thinking of me, like.
No.
I'm not going to bed thinking of them, but some nights I will if I don't go and do something. I should have done that because, and then you're like, oh, Tom, Dick or Harry won't.
Yeah.
Good luck to them.
Yeah.
It's not in a bad way, but just.
It's like at times I do regret a lot of things that I've done, but would I change my life any second of it? No, I wouldn't, because it's brought me to where I am today. I'm sitting here because of the life I've had. Yeah. I have the people in my life because of what I've been through. Yeah, it's been hard, it's been challenging, it's been tough, but the rewards that I've been given along the way have been beautiful, powerful. I have people in my life that I love and adore, that I know love and adore me. If I didn't have the life I had, I wouldn't have that love.
True. All our experiences, whether they be challenging or good or positive or negative, I don't really, those words can be misused. They've got us to where we are today. And as mad as it might sound to some people, and it's some people look at you and go, what? I wouldn't change any of it.
No, not at all.
It's acceptance, isn't it?
Yeah, acceptance is key. It really is.
I'm learning that.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned it in lots of other things, but there's certain things within my life that I haven't released, and I'm learning that acceptance is the key to letting them come up.
You had one of those moments earlier on.
I did, yeah. It was a very powerful thing I spotted.
As I said to you, as hard and all as it was, I'm glad you went through it, because it means you're getting in touch with those emotions.
Yeah. So what have you done to get you to where you are today?
What haven't I done? To get me where I am today, God, is a lot. It's an everyday, like, you have to work on yourself every single day. It's not just change one thing and everything would be perfect. No way. It's like you have to change everything, and something that worked for me today mightn't work for me tomorrow. So like you constantly have to keep checking in with yourself and being kind to yourself, loving yourself. And I know that's something that a lot of people like, oh, I can't tell myself I love myself, but why not? Do you know, I love myself for what I've been through, for what I've overcome, for my achievements, for everything. Like I'm a powerful person in so many ways. And
I love that you're coming into that.
Yeah.
I really love that you're embracing that and you're believing it.
Accepting myself.
You're accepting it.
Yeah.
You're accepting you.
For who I am and who I'm supposed to be, who I was put on this universe to be.
Yeah.
Like every hardship I've gone through, I have had a lot of good. Like I do say, you have to go through the bad to appreciate the good. 100%. And every lesson in life is a blessing. Do you know, you learn something from everything in life. Every day is a school day.
So like, right, so all the things that led you to breaking point, right? So firstly, what's breaking point for you? Everyone's different for breaking point. And I hear a lot of this, right? Rock bottoms. Oh, yeah, you've got to wait till someone hits the rock bottom. Like, I tell people as well, guys, I hit numerous rock bottoms. Yeah. I found trap doors and I kept going.
Yeah.
Rock bottom doesn't exist. It's a snap of the mind. For me, anyway, it was a pure mental snap of the mind. It was a bang.
Like yourself, I hit rock bottom many, many, many times, but it didn't change anything for me. Do you know, I'd tell myself I'm not doing this again or doing that again, and an hour later I'd be doing the exact same thing I'd done that got me to rock bottom. But what changed it for me is seeing Steph's headstone. The headstone went up a year after she passed away, and for that year I just drank myself into an oblivion. I took so many drugs, and like I just numbed myself completely. I didn't want to accept that Steph had passed away. I didn't want to accept that this is where my life had gone. I didn't want to accept any of it. And it's the day I seen, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it.
She's gone now. Her energy's here.
The day I seen her headstone is the day I realised I don't want to die. I remember the day of Steph's funeral. I'm all shivery. I remember the day of Steph's funeral when they put Steph's coffin into the ground and I seen Sarah's face. And that day I said to myself, I don't ever want to do that to Sarah and not be there for her. Like for the whole week Steph passed away, I managed to stay off everything because obviously Steph's addiction and stuff, I wanted to be there for the kids as much as I could and for Sarah, but it was the total opposite. I don't remember 90% of that week.
People thought you were out of it.
And people thought I was out of my head. I wasn't. I was awake for 4 solid days. I came home from work on a Friday night and got the phone call at 5 o'clock in the morning that they put her into an induced coma, and it was straight up to the hospital. And I didn't sleep for 3 to 4 days, and then she was brought to the house and she was laid out in the house. And I went home to my house to get some clothes and get myself sorted for the day of the burial. I lay in my bed and I slept. I woke up the next day. I didn't know where I was. I felt out of it. I felt like I was in a different dimension altogether.
Power of the mind.
The main thing I remember from the day of her funeral is carrying her coffin and whispering in the coffin to her, telling her that I loved her and to look after us all. And when they put her into the ground.
And that's what she does, doesn't she? She looks after
she does. His light flickering all the time. That cloud I seen in the sky today is like a butterfly, and then the door upstairs is creaking earlier on. It's just mad stuff that's happening.
You ran down the stairs. Right, it's hilarious, right? There's a woman who's inviting all the energies in, right? We'd be very big into energy, vibration, and just frequency, all of this kind of stuff, which I won't go into hugely here at the moment, but we'd be big into energy. And this is the phase of inviting energy and all the time, right? So we're all about energy and accept the energy. Where she comes running down the stairs, and I go, the door's moving, the lights flicker. And I was like, yeah, speak to the energy. You've invited it in, accept it and talk to it. No, I tell it to fuck off.
I was like, yeah, I wanted to stop scaring the shit out of me.
It was good, like. I could hear these elephant footsteps coming down. I was on my phone doing something, I was sending something to someone, and I was like, something's happening. Anyway, I think to myself, something's happening. And then you go, with a towel wrapped around you, all freaked out.
Well, if that was her mission, she done a good job. But yeah, back to the real stuff. It was her headstone.
Yeah.
And it's mad then, my first week in treatment, I rang treatment the day after that. I got into the Grove down in Kerry, and I went in a week after, and I was standing outside the treatment centre and I was unsure of what I wanted to do, and next thing all these white butterflies started floating around me, and not long before that, about a month before that, a white butterfly landed on my shoulder, and I sat standing in my friend Sandy's back garden. And I was like, whoa, and Sandy was like, butterflies don't stay that long on people. And I was Googling it and stuff, and it was like, a white butterfly is your loved ones letting you know that they're okay. So when I went into treatment, there was a load of white butterflies came out from behind this garden. And I was like, oh, I can't go now, And then the first Saturday I was in there, I was really, really homesick and really struggling at this stage, and this finished me off altogether. The counsellor asked us our names, wrote them up on the board, and asked us the last date that we used substance, alcohol, whatever it was, for anyone that was in there. And so everyone was given their names and everything, and then he drew a headstone around the names. Oh my God, Peter, it terrified the living daylights out of me. And then the counsellor said, look to your left and look to your right, one a year and going to survive.
Fear-based model of treatment.
Oh.
I'm not going into that, but...
that was an eye opener for me. It really was. Like, I didn't want to die. As much and all as I wished myself dead over the years and attempted suicides and self-harmed, and thinking back, I know they were just a cry for help because I was very young. I was a child and I was a teenager. I didn't know the consequences of what I was doing.
Nothing to be rescued.
But looking back now, it's like...
So, right, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
So, treatment, right? I know myself, I've been to treatment. Treatment's great, right? And it takes us away from society. And it gave me a space where there was no substances, there was no alcohol, and the behaviours were very different. The behaviours were in one with healing, right? Then you leave treatment.
Yeah. It's a scary world. Because nothing on the outside changes.
Everyone's the same, everything is the same. The only difference is you have to be different to everything. It's like a guy told me before, he says, this is easy. You have to do this recovery, it's easy. You only got to do one thing. He's like, okay, go on, Phil, you got to change everything. You think, yeah, change everything. How did you find it? What did you do? How are you still here, well, alive, sober, clean, doing however many years sober and clean? Like, I hate that language. I genuinely hate that terminology.
I'm 2.5 years looking after myself to the best of my ability, living.
So how have you managed that?
Many different things. The first year of my recovery, I literally worked myself into the ground. When I first came out of treatment, I was going to meetings and stuff like that, and they didn't serve me after a while. I just felt uncomfortable in the rooms for many different reasons.
Do you want to go into it, or you just...
I don't mind. Like the way people gossip about other people, and I shared about my mother one evening in a meeting, and I was told that this isn't a confession box.
It's dangerous.
And then you'd have certain guys messaging and, asking for lifts and kind of preying on you. And I found that very uncomfortable. And then you'd be sitting in the circle and people would be sharing and people would be nodding at you as if they go on share, and I found it very intimidating.
Or peer pressure.
A lot of peer pressure. I felt really uncomfortable, and I felt like I did in school. Like, I was covering my hands and stuff, and because when I was in school I used to cover my hands a lot because I felt like I had very big hands. I always felt like the odd one out, and it's like I wasn't being spiritual in those rooms. I wasn't in touch with myself. I was just concentrating on everything outside me because I felt a lot of fear and intimidation in those rooms.
Right, so you said something there, you weren't being spiritual, right? And I know for myself, on the outside looking in, before I came on this journey, I would have had a very different outlook on spirituality and what spiritual is.
I did too.
So for you, because of what you said there, I wasn't very spiritual. What's spiritual to you? What's spirituality?
Spirituality to me is loving myself, caring about myself, not being hard on myself. And I didn't realise that either until I done a bit of work on spirituality and treatment. I thought spirituality was all about God and stuff, but it wasn't. It was about looking back on how hard I was on myself and trying to nurture that version of myself, to let that version of myself know it's okay, that's how you survived, that's how you got through life, that was how you coped. Like, I always felt very different when I was a kid. I always felt awkward around people, around groups of people. Like, if I was walking home from school and I seen a group of people sitting near my house, I'd walk the long way. But then they'd be my friends, but I just couldn't walk past groups of people. It was hard. It was very, very hard. But yeah, spirituality to me is just connecting with myself, being in sync with myself and nurturing myself, caring for myself, loving myself. I could go on and on and on. There's so many things that you need to do to yourself because you deserve it. It's awful easy to be hard on yourself. It's very easy for me to say it. I'd find it in the past, not now, but I would have found it so much easier to say, oh, I hate myself, I hate my life.
Yeah.
But what?
Off the tongue.
Yeah. And then when I was in treatment, I had to do daily affirmations that was given to me by my counsellor. And I would be sitting there and I was the only one that had to do the daily affirmations because obviously I done the bit about spirituality and stuff, so that's when the affirmations come in. and I'd be looking through the list. There was about 20 of them, and I'd be looking through the list to see which one sounded the least like I was looking for attention.
Sounds cringe when you're saying it to begin with.
Yeah.
So I was the same. Like when you're giving yourself this self love. So spirituality to me would be being at one with oneself, being at one with me. So my spirituality is going inside.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Just being at one with me. And see, when I first started saying I love myself, I am enough, I am worthy, I am whole, I am powerful. I like just small little thing. Man, I felt like I want to get sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it's all new to you.
Brand new.
Like even
lifetime without it.
Even after my dad's court case and stuff, and for so many different things I've done, people say to me, now I can accept it, but a year ago when people say to me, oh, well done, like I done the podcast with Kathy on Grief Ireland, and I'd so many people like connecting with me and telling me how amazing I was, and I'd be there, thank you, and inside I'd be dying. I'd be like, oh my God, this is, yeah. And then there was this part of me that felt like, how do I explain this? There was like, I almost felt I didn't want them to think I was doing it for attention. Yeah. Do you know that sort of way?
Oh, I do. I get that 100%. Yeah. And I'd say others will get it too, because we've had conversations like this. And if I felt like this, and I found it very hard to tell anyone anything like that. Yeah. But I opened up to you. And to my dismay, to my misunderstanding, you were like, I felt exactly the same. So like, we're not the only two people out there who felt the same like that. Yeah. Like, so I, like, not to bring it back to me all the time, sorry, but I felt like... when I be saying certain things, people would think I'm lying or I'm speaking shit, or it's because, and that's from my pre-programming of spending a lifetime of lying, covering my arse, making up stuff to get to where I needed to be or what I needed to have. Like,
but where it would have come from me is when I was a kid, I'd say something. My parents would say I was a liar, because obviously if I spoke out loud about what was going on in the family home, they'd say, "Oh, take no heed of her. She's only a liar." And I've heard them say it numerous times. They made me out to be this little lunatic, like, do you know?
Oh yeah, that's not you at all. Like, no, it's not her. I promise.
It's not.
I'm not joking. She's loving, beautiful, caring.
But yeah, anyway, back to me. Where were we? You're asking about. I was explaining about my first year. I done my meetings and stuff, and then that wasn't serving me any longer, so I went and done a personal trainer course. And I went job sharing in the job I was in. I was 18 years working full-time night shift, so I thought, oh, this is a great opportunity. And it was at the time. Do you know, I was delighted with myself, delighted to be offered the job, to get the job, working in a gym. So I done 3 nights a week in Baxter and 4 to 5, maybe 6 days in the gym part-time. Some weeks could be 3. So I was constantly working. And then I was training myself. And now I'd finish in the gym at 10, I'd train till about 11, half 11, get changed and go over to Baxter to do an 8-hour shift. Go home at 8 o'clock in the morning, get up around 1 and back into the gym in the evening for work. And I'd done that for 8 months. And my God, looking back, I'm thinking, how in God's name did I survive? I was grateful to be alive, but I was living a miserable life. I was so lonely. I had no connection with anyone, only the people I seen at work in the gym. I had my friend Michaela, who was an amazing, amazing woman. She was really, really good to me, and she was always there for me. But I didn't have anything outside of that, if that makes sense.
Of course.
I wasn't connecting with people that I could talk to about my recovery, or people I could talk to about life, or people I could talk to. I didn't even give myself time to get counselling or anything like that. I just brushed everything under the carpet and just moseyed on through. Like,
I remember when we first got together. I remember when we first got together and that, and I got a glimpse of your schedule, or like your life and what you were doing. I was like, where's the time to sleep here? Like, what like, I was blown away. I just was like, here. I couldn't understand how you weren't so physically sick. I mean, in fairness, you were, you had infection, but like it was just mental. Mm-hmm. You'd go to work, you'd come back, we'd have a bit of time, go to a little bit of sleep, and you'd be gone to work, and it was full on for you. Mm-hmm. I felt for you, like I remember that feeling. I remember feeling for you, like I was just thinking, wow, this woman's really, like, you were driving yourself into the ground. Mm-hmm. But you looked gorgeous. Like, oh my God.
Thank you.
It's just true.
But like when I would have been working and stuff and people would have seen me, I always would have had this happy face on. But I'd go home and I'd cry into my pillow. I was so lonely. And the grief was hitting me every now and again, but when it hit me, it really, really hit me. Do you know, like, because Steph was always the person I'd go to talk about stuff and offload. Like, there's still times I think, oh, if something happens, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to ring Steph and tell her. And then it's like, oh, you know. But I know she's looking after me and I know she's in a beautiful place and I know she is. And like, along with all the hard work I've put into myself, her death has saved my life.
Now, that sounds, I know to some that might sound very different.
Mm-hmm.
Very maybe harsh.
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
To me, it's my truth, it's my reality.
Love that.
It is what it is. Yeah. Like, if Steph didn't pass away, I'd still be... I can't guarantee I would, but I have a funny feeling I'd still be living the way I was living before I went into treatment.
I don't know, we can't say, but I possibly say so too, because it is just those moments of snap.
But that was a moment that you cannot change. There's nothing in this world I could have done to bring Steph back. And as much and all as I loved her, I didn't want to be going along with her. Not yet.
Thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
Because you're here with me. We're a winner.
Yeah. But to be quite honest, Peter, other people's opinions on what I say, they don't matter to me anymore. I've lived so many years caring what other people think, letting other people down. Oh, I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't say that. But at the end of the day, where were those people when I needed someone the most?
Yeah, so we had a conversation similar to this in the car last night, I think it was, and or the other night, I don't know. And as I said, look, if anyone wants to say anything about us or about how we are or what we talk about and what we do, go put my shoes on for half an hour and walk around in my head. Come back and tell me you're okay. And now at the moment, very peaceful place to be, thank God. Very loving, caring, peaceful place to be. But in the midst of the madness and the height of the chaoticness, I wouldn't have given you half an hour. You wouldn't have lasted or survived a half an hour in my mind. 5 minutes and you would have tortured yourself. And I know it's the exact same for yourself.
I wouldn't wish my life on my worst enemy when I was in a bad place in my head. With the life I have now, it's the life I've always dreamed of. I'd love for everyone in the world to feel the love I feel, because it's absolutely beautiful.
It's possible too.
It is possible. Like, I never thought this was possible. I only said it to Sarah, I think it was this morning. I was sending her a message and I said life will be good. I said I could never have imagined that I would be sitting here saying to you that I'm 2.5 years living the life I deserve, the life I dreamed of. And I am.
Cool, isn't it?
It's amazing.
So did all that. So you're 8 months. You're working yourself into the ground. How did you get from there to here?
I met you.
Yeah, like that. Some people are watching this, they could be going, that was the death of her, like, you know what I mean? No, I take that back.
You come into my life and you showed me what love was.
It's mad, right? Because I say that to you all the time.
Yeah.
I tell you that you brought the love that's inside me out. The love that I've never ever been able to embrace, accept. And I knew it was there, like, I knew because I was different. Because I couldn't behave fully in the ways that those that I was around in the madness were behaving. I couldn't do some things that were involved in
the seedy stuff.
Yeah, I just couldn't. It wasn't me. So I knew there was something different inside me. You gave me the power. So it's mad that you said it. Yeah.
It's like that Thursday night in the Jeep, the night before our first kiss. I was the one that was in control of everything. We were in Supermax. I was making you feel influenced, intimidated.
Yeah.
And then we sat in the Jeep. We were down Ross's Point. And I just got one look at you, and after that I couldn't make eye contact with you because I knew I was hook, line and sinker.
I'll never forget that night, and a couple of nights before that as well in the water.
And it's like, I think I don't know, was it you that said it to me, but someone said about you breaking my walls down. And I said there never was a wall there to begin with. I just had this connection with you straight away. I felt safe in your company because like we were hanging around as friends for about a month before that. We'd been to numerous dips, coffees, sound baths, and I just felt really safe in your company. I could talk to you about anything, and then the more time we spent together, it blossomed. Thank God is right.
Beautiful. No, right. So what the picture you've described there. So this is going to blow your bubble here, because the picture you've described there, beautiful, loving, caring. Your mind's at ease, you're peaceful, everything's great. Is that what the last 10 months, 11 months have been like for you?
No.
No, I promise. It's been a wild ride. It's been a great ride, don't get me wrong. Like, it's been a beautiful, I've watched...
Journey.
Yeah, I like that, yeah. Reframe our language. It's all about reframing our language. But I've watched you transition from space to space, from healing to self-destruction, to healing, to understanding, to acceptance, to fear, to doubt, to healing, to like, I've watched you transform into so many different spaces over the last 11 months. Each and every time coming out stronger, more resilient, more powerful, more at peace, with more and more love for yourself. Not for the world, not for me, not for external things, now for yourself. And that's been really beautiful to watch.
But you know what it boils down to, Peter? Acceptance.
Right.
It really does. Acceptance and gratitude. Like, accepting that those feelings I was feeling at the time, they're feelings that have been created over years. I wasn't just feeling that way because I woke up one day and life was hard, life was bad. It wasn't. It was emotions that weren't dealt with. And when I moved in with you, and the stronger our relationship got, the more I was feeling these, I won't say horrible feelings, but they were really fucking challenging. It started off with anxiety breathing. And
so what's anxiety breathing for you? Just to kind of let people know.
When I breathe in and I fill my lungs up with too much air and I can't get it back out and I panic and I'm sitting up and I feel like I'm gasping for air, but it's not. It's I've too much air in my lungs. And I've since learned from Dr. Rajinder that I'm a shallow breather. That was created from trauma. It's a panic breath. It's like I don't breathe. I don't use the bottom half of my lungs. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just breathe into my chest.
Yeah.
But I'm getting better at that now.
Oh, well, yeah.
Thanks to the breathing exercises I've been given and stuff like that, and yeah, I am getting better at that. Even thinking about it now, it's I can feel it, but I did.
It's mad, isn't it? Though you just said thanks to the breathing exercises you give you, but it's mad how they work when someone else gives you them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, just had to get that in there. Go on.
But yeah, it's different when you pay for things, Peter.
So I need to start charging you now, isn't it? Lovely, but I've got a bill about that long racked up for
when
you.
When you're held accountable for things, you will try that bit harder.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, like we weren't long together and I was coming down here sleeping on the couch, like that had to have been very, very hard on you. But like, I'm so grateful to you that like you stuck by me, you understood, you talked me through things. Like I'd come in from work and I'd sit there at the kitchen table staring out the window for 2 or 3 hours. Do you know? And like these are all feelings I blocked out for years. But it's the space we created. I felt safe that I wasn't going to be judged. I wasn't going to be challenged. Why are you feeling that way? And so you accepted me for who I was.
Absolutely.
And then it went from there. I had to go to my doctor. She put me on an anti-anxiety medication, which I come off after a few weeks because they were just making me numb. It didn't help with my breathing at all because it wasn't anxiety. It was internal thoughts, internal feelings. Anxiety had nothing to do with it. It's stuff I had to release. And time went on. I got really sick. I lost a lot of weight. I started fainting, losing my hair, low blood pressure. What else?
Infection. You had full
A
infection.
full
in the entire body.
yeast infection in my entire body that I couldn't shift. A sinus infection constantly. Insomnia, not sleeping, and riddled to the core with guilt. Guilt that was not even mine. I felt guilt for Steph dying, for my dad being in jail, for my relationship with Sarah, for my relationship with everyone that's been in my life, with my mother. I was holding on to stuff that wasn't serving me because it wasn't my guilt. And even after going in to see my father in the prison and telling him I forgive him, that done me the world of good. And I was so good with that relationship for a while. But it's when I started going in deep in my core, all those feelings come up again that I felt guilty for where he was. Because it was the little girl in me that was feeling guilty.
So how did you deal with that? Or how do you deal with that? Because it's a journey, it's a process.
It is a process. A lot of it is like talking to myself, and you guide me a lot as well. I've tried so many different things. Like we've even gone to sound baths, and I'd be lying there and everyone else is like in a pure zen mode, and I'm there looking around and not able to catch my breath properly. But you know, a lot of it too is trusting myself. Telling myself that it's going to be okay.
But believe in that.
Yeah.
Like
I
feeling, isn't it?
I could be great today and wake up tomorrow riddled with anxiety again. It's the thoughts. I feel more comfortable when something is wrong in life.
We're used to it.
It's what I'm used to. Yeah. So when everything is going good in my life, I'm looking for stuff to pick at.
It's the anticipation of something going wrong, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We just think something's going wrong. I can only speak for myself. I'd be similar, very similar. It's that anticipation. Yeah, that's my stomach. It's the healthy food we eat today.
But there's one thing I do find really good, and it's helping me the last while, is journaling. I really find that very good. And like 5 days out of 7, I could be writing the same thing. But that's what I mean. It doesn't matter, because if they're 5 days of positive writing, I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay. I'm delighted with that. The gym, I find the gym a great way of release for me.
So now you're in Sligo. You're in Wrong.
Yeah.
Love Wrong.
Yeah, me too. It's a cool playground, yeah.
Playground.
Yeah, and like Terry and Carly and everyone in there is so friendly, so welcoming.
What I love about that place, right? I would be, which is mad to think, I'd be kind of intimidated when it comes to gyms. And that's crazy for the background I've come from the prison systems, from everything. Like, even I'd be more comfortable in a gym in a prison system than I would in a commercial gym. That's mental to think.
Mm-hmm.
But that place, man, you walk in there and everyone's just like, hi. Like all the staff. I remember the days that I got you a pass for your birthday last year, March last year. I got you your pass, and I remember I was going in to do day passes because I didn't have a membership, and everyone was just so helpful. So like all the staff were like, oh yeah, hi, we're gonna fill this out. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm telling you everything about it. And man, it's just.
It's like our second home, really.
Oh, without doubt. Like that's. I know so many people in recovery who go into that gym because the place is full of compassion. It's full of love. It's full of care. There's little to no judgment in there. There's no judgment from staff, from anything. Everyone's just get on with it. Everyone's there for their own reason. Everyone's there for their
well-being. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool spot. Like.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
No, you're
Went
fine.
off topic all
where were we?
The gym, he says.
The gym. I find the gym very good. But recently, I don't know why I feel so emotional about talking about it. I went to my doctor before Christmas, and I hadn't had a smear test done in 9 years. No, 7 years. Sorry, 7 years. And she said, "We'll do one." So then, a couple of weeks later, I get a call of the nurse to tell me that there was abnormal cells found, and I started getting a lot of different lumps on my breast. So of course my head was gone through the clouds.
Oh, you just had buried, I remember.
I had myself buried.
Yeah.
I did.
And if you kept going, your mind was going to bury you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, you're not lying. Like I was, you could see it coming out of me. I was full of fear, and I was angry as well. So I was thinking, I've gone through so much in life. Give me a break. I'm so. It's like I'd say to you, I don't understand why I'm feeling like this because I'm so happy. Do you know? It was like. It's like my subconscious mind, or I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, no, come back here to me. Do you know what I mean? Don't you go off there being happy and leave me back here in this. Like, do you know, it's hard to explain, but it was very challenging. And then, of course, I'd weeks then of worry about that, and like if a shred of hair come out, I was like, oh my God, I'd be panicking, freaking out, thinking the worst. And then I started weighing myself again, which was the worst thing I could ever do, because every time I went into the gym, I had a kilo gone at a time. But that was created through stress. It was created through worrying about stuff, like. And then I had my appointment, and I had my, what's the word? Biopsy. And the doctor said to me on the day, she said, I can tell you, I can promise you, you've precancerous cells, but they're not cancer. But she said, if you left it much longer, I could be telling you a different story. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, this is the universe telling me, Sophia, you need to give yourself more compassion, more care, more love, and stop being so hard on yourself. You've been given so many chances, and I have, but I've created those chances too. But I have been given so many chances to live a happy, beautiful life, and this time I ain't taking anything for granted. It's like you said, I had myself buried. I feel like I faced death in the face. Do you know that sort of way? So I don't want to create stress in my life. I don't want to feel stress, because I know that's what stress does. And right now, in the last couple of weeks, I've started on the Ayurveda medicine, Indian medicine, and I'm only.
So when you say medicine, hold on.
It's supplements, but it's supplements, yeah.
So
but
herbs.
Herbs, yeah. I'm a week and a half in on that, and I'm doing the breathing that they showed me how to do. My diet, I'm all organic food. I'm eating really
Shout out
clean. Cheering and all, guys.
Yeah.
My diet is clean. I'm not having any processed protein, anything like that. Everything is plant-based. And a week and a half in, I can say I feel like a different person. And plus we're listening to frequency sounds, going to bed, doing affirmations.
Like now, in fairness, we cut out, not that cut out, right? We don't watch TV.
This TV hasn't been on in 4 days.
It's been longer than that.
Yeah.
But now, how to put this? So I had an experience. We had an experience in November, with plant medicine, and we used plant medicine to help us heal and bring us further on our journey.
To dig deep.
Really deep, like deeper than I thought possible for myself, because it brought something up for me that was buried for a very, very long time. But away from that, since that, what we listen to, what we watch, what we consume has all changed, which is powerful. So like all our music has changed.
Our frequencies, everything.
Yeah, everything we consume has changed, and that's been like very, very powerful for the way things have aligned today.
It really was a beautiful experience. It was the most loving, emotional, beautiful experience I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, that's great. Like, I didn't have that experience.
I know. But that experience.
No, I did. I had a loving experience.
But that experience did show me that I have done a lot more work in myself than I give myself credit for. It's my mind that dictates if I'm having a bad day. Internally, I'm at a certain amount of peace with myself, because when I feel good, I feel good. And then this ticking time bomb then starts nattering away at me. And
so right, what do you do when that happens?
I sometimes I sit with it, and sometimes I walk away from it. I get up, I move about, I talk to you, I put on music, but it can be hard to not listen to it at times. As I say, I just have to remove myself from that. It's like in everyday life, if you get into an uncomfortable situation, how do you get out of it? You remove yourself from it. And I know people might think it's hard to remove yourself from your own head. It's not. It's no, I don't mean like remove myself from my own head. Remove myself from those thoughts.
Yeah. Just take control over your mind.
Take control, yeah.
Not allowing your mind to control you. You control your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like the further on I'm getting in this journey of healing, the more my mind and body are starting to sync with each other, which is powerful. Powerful. It is the key.
I tell everyone it's the key. Everyone forgets we are beings of threefold. We have our mind, our body, and our spirit. So, however you want to put it, our spirit, our ether, our life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I see lads and girls heading to the gym, and they're banging out the gym for an hour, 2 hours a day. They're doing it 5-6 days a week. They're doing nothing for their mind. They're doing nothing for their cognitive capacity. They're doing nothing. They're doing nothing for their spirit, and they're just escaping.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk to them, and now in fairness, I'm lucky the space that I've been able to create with some lads. They will talk openly to me, and these lads are torturing themselves.
Yeah.
Straight, like these lads are torturing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I explain to them, and I talk to them, and they're like, "How did you get to this?" And it's not about what I have materially wise. They see the peace. And some of these lads will know me for a long time, like a long time, and they're like, "Here, man, what did you do? Like, come on, sell me something." You know what I mean? Because this is not you. Like, selling. And it's like, lads, we forget we're spiritual beings having a physical existence. Like, we look after our physical body to look good and to feel good physically. Great, 100%. I do it myself. I train 4 or 5 days a week. Great, but I train my mind. I train my mind 7 days a week. And I train my spirit 7 days a week. Now, when I say train, we give our mind and our spirit attention and love. It's not training, because it's just about looking after ourselves.
Yeah, it's like you did say that to me a few weeks ago, because I'm one of those people that I'll do everything in the world to make myself well, and then when I'm well, forget about it.
That's what we do with cycles.
Yeah, and it's like you said to me a few weeks ago, look babe, we can put 2 hours a day into going to the gym to work on our bodies. Why can't we put 2 hours into sitting down and working on our minds? Where like I could spend 2 hours a day scrolling on my phone.
Easily.
Why don't I just sit down and journal, write nice letters to myself, write down my dreams, write down my goals, write down my affirmations, be kind to myself, write letters to Steph, write letters to people that mean the world to me. I don't have to send them, but I can just write lovely letters, because words are powerful, so powerful.
It's love.
It is love.
It's all love, baby, and people are sick of me saying that, but it's all love.
It really is. Like, as I'm saying it again, the more I fall in love with myself, the better I feel.
Yeah, because look, there's nothing external that can give me the feeling or the peace that the internal will give me. I've searched, I've seeked, I've done everything, everything imaginable.
Yeah.
And nothing has given me the peace that going inside has given me.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, it's a dark, to begin with.
Yeah.
It's not now. To begin with, it was a very dark place.
But with the lives we've led, Peter, you're always, not always, but there is going to be points in life where you are going to find a dark spot in there.
You can't have light without darkness.
No.
Light does not exist without darkness. there's always going to be a shadow. It's the yin and the
Yeah.
yang of the life. It's the eternal life force. It's just what it is. It's the balance.
And it's how you deal with it at the time.
It's the healthy way to deal with it.
Yeah.
Let's go through it.
Yeah.
Not run away from it.
Yeah.
Not suppress it.
Yeah.
Not take something. Not, you know, right? So just for instance, right? So along with every substance available to mankind that I've pretty much taken or tried, and if I haven't taken it, I just couldn't get cancer, right? I was heavily medicated, psychiatrically medicated. I was labelled with everything. And I had a long list of psychiatric medication that I was taking for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, to put this into perspective, I don't take anything today.
Yeah.
I'm about to start some herbs that the doctor has given me. Dr. Rajendra gave me, for the Ayurvedic. But I have no pharmaceutical medication in my system at all today.
Yeah.
And I'm the most at ease and at peace with myself that I've ever been.
But it's like I said earlier, the anti-anxiety medication made me numb. And said it didn't help me with anything, it just made me numb. I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating. And people depend on this stuff. They think they have to have it.
That's another episode altogether.
Yeah. It's scary.
But here but just to kind of touch on that, right? It is very useful.
Yeah.
Right? There is a place for it, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I know myself, right, for some of the stuff I've been through and some of the places I was in, that medication and that helped, it bandaged it, right? It was a short-term fix. But I would be of the opinion, now this is just my opinion, I would be of the opinion that medication is to stabilise someone from their own mind. Because my mind brought me to places which wanted to wipe me off the face of the planet, right? So without certain substances and medication, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
So it had a place. But then, over a long-term period, I need to go in. I need to go inside me.
Yeah.
To heal, to fix, to talk, to understand, to figure out stuff. I couldn't do that if I was on that medication.
It's like after my grandfather died, I was about 8 months off I can't even think of the name of them,
Anti-anxiety,
antidepressants. Yeah.
Prozac.
Anyway, I was off them for a few months, and when my grandfather died, I went back into the psychiatrist, and I said, he was a new psychiatrist that I hadn't seen before. As you know, that's another story. And I begged and pleaded with him to put me back on the medication. And he said to me, he goes, the best way I can describe this to you is, if you smash a vase off the floor, pick it up and put it back together with glue, when you take that glue away, it's going to fall apart again. Yeah. And that really opened up my eyes. I didn't have any medication until I went back on the anxiety this year. My grandfather's passed away 8 years ago.
No, I can only talk from what I saw when you went on that anxiety medication. It did help you. It helped you get to a stable point where you were able to start doing some more inner work. You were able to dig in and start looking at things. And then you came off it to be able to do that bit more. Like.
But I did feel numb inside.
Oh, I know that. I
wasn't affectionate. I couldn't be intimate. I couldn't, I
know, but it helps at that point.
Yeah. As you say, it got me to where it needed to get me to.
If nothing else, it was a placebo for you.
Yeah.
And it got your mind to slow down.
Yeah.
And it got you to not be in self-attack mode.
Yeah.
I saw that myself. I was here. I witnessed it.
Yeah.
But then I also witnessed that it was going to come to a point where it was either going to be up the medication or do the internal work. I saw that too. Like.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, you chose to do the internal work.
Yeah.
And they're pulling things apart. And we're still doing it. We're still pulling and listening. Every day we're pulling things apart.
And like last week was my first week back at counselling. The counsellor I started going to, oh babe, she's amazing. Like I was like a new woman coming out of there. And like I have an appointment there tomorrow and I can't wait to go in and see her.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's just like she brought me back to when I was a little girl, but I didn't feel uncomfortable there.
She created a safe, loving environment for you to explore those feelings.
I was holding little Sophia in my arms. I could smell myself, and there was tears in my eyes. I was swinging her on a swing, and she she brought me back to a place where I could hold the little girl I once was and tell her that everything's going to be okay.
And you could help her believe it too, because everything is okay.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
The power of the mind it's incredible.
Here, who's telling? I preach this stuff to people. I had 2 lads in the gym yesterday, and we were doing different bits. We were doing hanging, we were doing dead hangs on the bars and everything. And I explained to them and talked to them that your mind will give up long before your body will give up. And the lads, each and every time, went further and further and further on the time with the dead hang.
Yeah.
They went from 47 seconds to 1:27 seconds to 1:40 seconds. These are lads who don't hang off bars, you know what I mean? But you coach.
And you even had them breathing through it.
Yeah, connect with your body,
Yeah.
connect with your breath. It takes you away from what you're doing. Well, you got to get over the first little bit. This is just on the dead hang, but you just got to get over the first little bit. And it's like everything. If you can connect with your breath, you can connect with your body, you can connect with yourself. Your mind can just expand. We are miraculous pieces of machinery, but genetic machinery that we don't ever give ourselves the credit for. We're programmed not to allow ourselves to flourish, not to allow ourselves to expand, and we're done. That's done on a continuous basis, just to close your mind. If we've got a lot of people, loads of people with closed minds, sure, you know, but we don't do that. Open-minded all the way.
Yeah.
It's
the only way. It's the only way that works for me, anyway.
Oh, I need to keep expanding. I need to. You know what I'm like. Like you've seen me. I just need to keep. Information.
I was actually saying, how do you know all this stuff? Like, how do you store it all? It's like because you're so passionate when you talk. You explain it. Like, there's nothing I've asked you and you haven't known.
I know there is some things I think I don't know. Like.
Yeah, not really though.
Well, then I'm just talking shit.
Fake it till you make it, baby.
That's it. Yeah, look, anyway, on that, will we leave it at that?
Up to you, Peter.
I keep talking all night.
I know.
Matter like. Sure, we could keep talking all night and just cut another episode. Like. I'm not saying nothing, so they're not going to know. Anyway.
They will, because you've same clothes on.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone that knows me knows I don't really wear the same clothes twice.
Look at you, same with the hair and everything, as you're saying. Oh, yes, darling. When you go in, oh, yeah. Primark boutique, 2 of us, best of the best. As we say, it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Right, look, on that, we leave it, will we?
Mm-hmm.
I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I brought something to you. Yeah, tune in. Thanks for episode 2.
Thanks for listening, guys. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, genuinely. And thank you very much for all the support, all the messages, all the encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's...
all the love.
Yeah, all the love. Everything that's been brought into our space since we released the first episode. We are blown away, genuinely blown away with the response and the understanding. And I'm going to let Sophia say this about what we have coming up.
Guys, you won't be just listening to us two talking crap all the time. We have some amazing guests lined up, people from all walks of life. We have powerful, inspirational stories, people who have transformed their lives and are living their dream. We have professionals talking about different stuff, restorative justice, many different things about the prison systems.
About probation.
Yeah.
We have someone who's very knowledgeable in the restorative justice and the probation area. Then we have someone who's a doctor in her field and extremely knowledgeable and wise about the restorative justice space, which Sophia had her own experience with, which again is another episode. So you're just going to have to keep listening and watching, guys.
And we'd hopefully like to get my daughter Sarah on one podcast and let her share her experience of what it's like to be the child of an addict and how life was for her and stuff like that. I think that would be powerful.
And we are very, very, very open to all suggestions, ideas, questions, anything like that. So we have an email. It's petersophiahtc@gmail.com. We have the Instagram account, which is Having the Chats, Peter and Sophia. I think that's the name of it. We've got the TikTok account, and obviously we've got the YouTube account if you're watching this. And you can comment on Spotify. We've got a setup that you can comment on Spotify. So feel free to throw something out. We are very open to it. And look, listen, if you throw something out that you think, oh, I don't know if they're going to talk about that, or I don't know if they'll tell me, ask anyway. What we do is we've learned to put boundaries up. We say, do you know what, it's a bit too intimate. But like,
but we can tiptoe around it a bit.
I was just about to say that. There's not much we don't talk about. We're very...
We can use our words wisely as well.
At times.
Yeah. But as Peter said, if anyone has anything they want us to discuss, or even if you want to do a live with us on TikTok or anything like that to have an open conversation, just give one of us a shout or get in touch with the Instagram page, having the chats, or get in touch with one of our Instagrams. But as I say, we're here to do this because we want to share the love and support that's needed for anyone in any form of recovery that's going through any hardship in life. We're not professionals, but we are professionals.
Well, I'm a professional in my field, but that's coaching.
Yeah, coaching. Yeah. But like, we are professionals at experience. There's not much we haven't lived through, you know, and as I say, we're open books, and
One last thing, right, is if anything that we spoke about today, that we discussed, that we went through, if it hit home for anyone, if someone's listened to it and it's brought something up in them and it's created some challenging emotions or feelings that have come to the surface, reach out, right? We're not saying we're going to fix you. I'm not saying we do anything, but what we can do is maybe guide you to a space or a person or a modality or something that we can tell you what we did for us that helped us. That's all we can do, and we will do it. So if there is something that's come up, don't sit there feeling like there's nowhere to go with it. Don't sit there feeling like you're on your own and you have to isolate. You don't. We answer any message, and especially a message like that, and we will tell you what we did to help ourselves through it, right? None of us can heal anyone in that way, but we can support. We can support you and let you know what our experience of the situation was. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, and he's a brilliant coach.
And she's a brilliant person.
Right,
and
guys.
Coach and lover and everything else. But anyway,
everything in between.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. Stay tuned for episode 3. It's coming soon.
It is. And don't miss it, guys. We have an amazing guest lined up for you.
Take care.
Adios. Mwah. Love you.